Hey, this is Mike from the Graphic Novel Show. Are you interested in starting and running your own podcast? Well, you know, this is the second one that we've done. We used to do a different one, and we decided to start this one. And last time we used Anchor, and you know what? We decided to go back with Anchor again because they are the easiest way to make a podcast. They give you everything you need in one place for free. You can do it right from your phone or on your computer. Anchor gives you creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. You can do that right from your phone. That's quite amazing. They'll also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Now, what you need to do is go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hi, I'm Parker, and I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm Mike, and I am he, him, and whatever else fits. And this is the Graphic Novel Podcast. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, this is a show where we read graphic novels or sometimes some short comics, zines, things like that. And then we do a review, discussion, and we can talk about a lot of different things on this show.
Sometimes we talk about divorce. Sometimes we talk about abortion. A lot of times we talk about queer issues.
We have kids and relationships, all different kinds of stuff. So, yeah. So it's a cool show, and we're glad you're listening. And if you like our show, we'd appreciate if you go to
Twitter, go to Apple Podcasts, and give us a great rating. And if you leave a review, we may read it on the air.
And if you visit us at anchor.fm, Graphic Novel Podcast, you can actually leave a voice message that we can play on the air.
That's exciting. Do you remember growing up and hearing your voice, thinking how cool it would be to hear your voice on the radio? Yeah.
All right. Well, and on to today's show.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, Parker.
I almost said hello, Parker.
Oh my gosh. Do you know who you are?
Talk to myself.
Do you know who you are?
More like, do I know who you are?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, too.
Maybe I just want to talk to myself.
Okay. Maybe you need to get a tattoo of my name on your wrist so you can remember it.
Or I get a tattoo of your name on your forehead.
Whoa!
So then I'm looking at you and it just says, hi, Mike.
Yeah, but then when I look in the mirror, it's backwards. So what good does it do me?
Because it's for me. It's not for you.
Oh, gosh. All right.
If you have a tattoo on your forehead, it is not for you. I mean, you personally, because anybody else that has one on their forehead, I assume they did it for themselves because.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
How about the.
Do you remember that?
How about the Minnie Mouse? What is up with the Minnie Mouse? What do you call that thing?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Minnie Mouse ears?
Yes.
Mouse ears?
But the like.
Oh, yeah. We saw somebody that had like the headband
thing. Yes.
Tattoo, though.
Under their ear. It's like, why
wouldn't it was like behind their ear on their neck.
Why wouldn't you just have the ears? Why do you have to have that? What is the point?
I don't understand why it's a headband.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
either like make the full circle. Like, okay, whatever. Tattoos are for your own. I don't understand putting the tattoo behind the ear.
Yeah, that's a big thing now.
It is. No, it's been a big thing for a while, but it's not. Like, you don't see it. Like, I have a tattoo on the back of my calf, and it's like the biggest mistake because I never see it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't ever remember what leg it's on. I don't. Like, one time I went to shows, I was talking about it with somebody, and I was like, oh, yeah, and I pulled up the wrong leg. I pulled up the wrong pant leg to show them. I'm like, oh, nope, not this leg. Because I never see it, so I don't.
It's on your right leg?
I don't know. You want me to pull up my pants right now and see?
I don't want
to. I'd never remember.
Oh, my goodness. So anyhow, welcome to another week of the Graphic Novel Podcast.
That was a very smooth transition there.
Yeah. Welcome. And
thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Thank you for listening. And many of you around the country are ramping up for the end of the world. And
I don't know about around the country.
It's 45 states now. It's definitely growing.
I know, but even here where it's bad, people are like, oh, you're just making a big deal out of nothing.
People
Like
are stupid.
we're at Costco the other day, and this guy's like, why is it so big? This guy is asking a worker, why is it so busy here? What are you guys having some kind of sale? And the guy's like, the worker's like, are you joking? And he made a joke first. The worker said, yeah, it's a 2-for-1 sale. You're falling asleep. This is a terrible story. I'm so sorry. It made me so angry.
Get to the punchline.
Wait, what's the punchline?
What the moron said.
It's just a flu.
Yeah.
It's just cold.
Yeah. I mean,
is that a punchline? I don't feel like it's the punchline.
That's the end of the story.
But you were falling asleep. What? That's so rude.
I've heard the story.
But our listeners haven't. But you think they're falling asleep too, and they're like,
no,
I don't care.
Heard the story.
Listen, if you think that this is just a flu and people are freaking out, like, I hope that you're out volunteering at places where they like food banks.
Yeah, exactly.
Go volunteer at a food bank if you don't think you're affected, because it makes me so upset to see so many people like, stop the hysteria.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway.
All right. Well, got some big news this week.
Huge
news. Everybody's already heard it, but
because we were just talking.
Yeah, but Emerald City Comic Con was it was postponed.
They just announced.
And they just announced that it will be moved to August. Oops, my phone is not
21st.
August 21st to the 23rd. So it's only going to be 3 days instead of 4 days.
Yeah.
And transfer your tickets to the new dates by March 27th. That was a big question that people were having.
Because they were like, you're going to have to buy new tickets. And people were like, but.
Yeah.
So anybody that had one is like, well,
Exactly.
What am I going to do? So does that mean we have to reapply for everything?
We'll have to find out. This literally came while we were getting ready to record. So that
tells our listeners that we are behind recording. Usually we record at least a day ahead of time.
Yeah, we're behind.
Mike wasn't sure if he kind of had a tickle in his throat, maybe, and wasn't sure if he was maybe getting sick, but he's feeling good. So
yeah, so that was a big thing. People right now, we would have yesterday we would have been at the Comic-Con, but that didn't happen. So in Emerald City, give them a lot of credit, and some of the
they held out a really long time.
Well, no, not about that, but for the weekend, they've had online things going on to try and allow some of these people who had planned on attending and making money ways to make some sales and stuff. So we went and we bought like 5 books. So
we didn't go anywhere.
No, we bought them online.
we did the online shopping.
They will be delivered to our house by somebody with coronavirus. But
stop.
But that's the con was finally, and it's mainly, I think, because the governor was pushing for events to be small events.
250 people.
Yeah,
under 250.
I went past a church this morning that's doing online
sermons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's good. It's good that they have a way to, still connect.
I saw. There was another one. They were scrambling. They said last Saturday they were scrambling to set everything up so they could do online stuff because they'd never done it before.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know. It feels like a strange thing that you don't have that backup, but it's like, I don't know. Just living right now feels really strange.
It does. I mean, going to Costco was a little surreal. It was busier than at the holidays.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The line
store
went
was the store was full of stuff. There was some things.
There was a few empty shelves, but for the most part,
a lot of chicken breasts were gone. I think people plan on eating chicken.
Yeah.
But it's
and no samples. That's always a weird
no
thing.
Samples. That's a big thing. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. And we're going to be here every week for you guys. So tell your friends. We're going to keep reading books and telling you about them. And
because our recording studio is in our house.
So so even if we're quarantined, we've got enough books to continue going from us.
Yes, we do.
And we just bought more too, so we're gonna have plenty.
When you can never have enough, honestly.
No, I know. I saw somebody posted on Twitter about all these people, needing to go and buy new books. It's like you don't have 2 years worth of books in your house to read already. And I'm like, yeah, we do have quite a bit. I've read a lot of the books, but there's still some.
There's a lot I haven't read. I have a lot.
Yes, there's a bunch that we have.
But I'll also be homeschooling our 10-year-old. So
yeah, so I mean, a lot of things have happened. The NBA, the NHL, MLB, they're all postponing or canceling their seasons. UFC is going to continue because the president said that they should continue. So
yeah, I don't get that. Does he have ownership or something?
He went to one of the matches not long ago.
Oh,
so yeah,
so they should continue.
He's friends with Dana, whatever his name is,
spitting in blood. And UFC is pretty violent, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we'll find out. Like 3,000 people are going to have it, and they're going to spread it to another 100,000 people, and
it's going to be
a disaster.
I mean, I think I was really frustrated with how long it was taking for schools to announce closures when I was like, it seemed like the governor was headed there.
Yep.
And that the schools are like, oh, we're still open. And I understand there's parents that have to go to work and kids that need food. And, I was reading people talking about these kids who are going to be stuck home with abusive parents for the next 6 weeks. And for some kids, school is their safe place to be when they don't have a safe home. And I just, like, my heart breaks just thinking about those poor kids.
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough. But then we've got some restaurants. We've got even our school district. They're going to have food for kids so they can at least get one meal a day.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be tough. The people that it's going to hurt the most are the people that need these things the most. They need
the low income people are
they're going to be the ones that are going to be affected the most.
Even middle income people a lot of times right now.
Well, yeah, because if you're a two income family and you're both working and you have childcare, it's tough. Now somebody's got to stay home, or you've got to have childcare, which costs money.
Which costs money, which means
if you could even get it.
I mean, a lot of the childcare places are like, if somebody's sick, we have to close.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But there's always comic books. There's always graphic novels. There's always television. You can binge watch all kinds of stuff. We've watched a bunch of stuff. We started watching She-Ra. Our youngest, it's a little too violent, I think. They said that they weren't a fan of it the other day.
Yeah. I think it's just a little bit scary, all the fighting, and they use weapons and stuff too. And there's like scary monster type things for a young one.
My Hero Academia.
Arcadia?
No.
Academy.
Whatever it is.
That's really important. I'm glad you're recommending something you know.
Oldest wanted to watch that.
Yeah, I know.
Last night.
Oh, really? Is that why it was up?
But I said no because the other one, the youngest one, wouldn't like that again. But because we started watching, I think, one episode. But yeah, there's
sometimes even Steven Universe is too much for us.
Yeah. Yep. And for us, we're getting through BoJack Horseman. We had started it once or twice. We had watched a couple episodes, and I'm like, it was all right.
I think it was just because BoJack's such an asshole that I just couldn't get into it. And I mean, he's still an asshole.
Yes, but there's a lot more depth to it all.
Yes,
to absolutely. Him and to the other characters. It really is an awesome show.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it as much. Like I don't think that I would binge watch it like I do Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, it's not like that. I don't think it's really good though.
Or Schitt's Creek, I binge watch it. So. But that's not a comic book. But Stumptown is based on a comic book, and we are into that now.
Yeah, it's good. I don't think it's great.
What?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that one.
I'm in love with Dex.
Yeah,
I'm sure you knew that.
I'm sure. Anyhow, kind of like the woman at the gym.
Yes, the woman at the gym that commented on my rainbow colored glasses and then my rainbow hair. And I was like, I'm in love.
Yeah, after she turned around.
Oh, stop it.
So anyhow, we got 2 books this week. Both of them we picked up when we were at Short Run last November.
Yep.
First, we have Malarkey #4 by November Garcia. And then we're going to do Rooftop Stew by Max Clotfelter. All right. So let's talk about. Start
with Malarkey.
Malarkey.
The word just would not come out of my mouth.
That's a lot of malarkey. That's Joe Biden's thing. His bus said no more malarkey or something.
His bus?
Oh yeah, it was a malarkey tour. Anyhow, do you have something about this book that you can tell?
You ready for the synopsis?
I am.
So we read. Did you say Malarkey #4? I can't remember.
I did.
In this fourth installment of her serial comic, November Garcia continues her existential mega journey with her signature sense of humor and zest for life. From somewhat self-inflicted calamity to odd encounters with her bizarre family, as well as travels, curious chemical substances, and various other forms of self-deprecating autobio, this mini picks up where Malarkey number 3 left off, while showing a bit more flex with color.
All right. November Garcia is a cartoonist from the Philippines who makes humiliatingly funny autobio comics. Her titles include Foggy Notions, Rookie Moves, and her ongoing series Malarkey. And let's see. Her work has been featured in the New Yorker, Pen America, and Popula. She has only one working eye, so don't wave at her from her left side. Her likes are comics, music, weird travel, booze, animals, yoga, and dancing. And her dislikes are cockroaches, bigots, constipation, and death.
I wonder if anybody likes constipation.
Well, nah.
Are you going to say yes?
I'm not a fan of constipation, no. But yeah, so Malarkey number 4 picked up that one. It's full color.
Yes.
Full color. These are both from Birdcage Bottom Books, too.
Are they? Did we discover that?
Yep, they both are. Full color, but she does different color. Like the one story is just pink and black.
Oh, yeah.
And some other ones have like full color panels and stuff. And she does different coloring and stuff. But they're good stories. I mean, she does different they're all autobiographical, right? Yeah.
Yep.
She talks about how her husband updated their iTunes library and introduced her to this band who suddenly she became like obsessed with.
His
friend.
Ex-girlfriend's brother or something, right?
Yeah.
Did you look up the band? I forgot to.
No, I never did. But yeah, she became...
Because it says the band name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me.
Fiddler. Fuck it, dog. Life's a risk. That's the name of it. But... yeah, and she really gets into it, and she like copies it, and she's listening to the music all the time, and just like crazy. And her art is cool. She doesn't. I mean, they're people, but they're drawn cartoony, like so.
Yeah.
Like their arms are like really rounded instead of like elbows, like are pointy and stuff, and her legs are and like she has like funky moves and stuff, and they look good. She has some other things mixed in there, and talks about different things like living in San Francisco and
they're pretty popular. Their Facebook page. I mean, their Facebook 180,000 people follow it. Fiddler.
Oh, really?
Yep. They have pictures of people with tattooed Fiddler on their ankles.
Fuck it, dog. Life's a risk. That's them.
I went to the website.
It is a band.
I guess.
They only had one album, right? Wasn't it? What is it? Because she's telling her
tour dates. Let's see if it has any other tour dates.
2 albums. The third one isn't out until January 25th.
No upcoming events.
Well, a lot of bands are canceling events.
Oh, well. They haven't posted anything since, like in January, they changed their cover photo. That's the most recent post.
Yeah, but they're good stories. Oh yeah, that's right. Being Catholic, Filipino.
Yep.
She talks about that whole no sex before marriage thing, but she had sex as a teenager. But
then you just have to go confess it and do your Hail Marys or whatever. And give all the dirty details to the priest so that he can go fuck the altar boy.
It sounded like you wanted to jerk off in the one thing.
I know, isn't that terrible?
Tell me exactly, what did you do?
What did you do that was so terrible?
Exactly. I want details. She's like, really? Is that necessary that you need to know everything I did? Yes. Wait. Yeah, I know all the details.
Is that what it sounds like when you ejaculate?
No. But... I mean,
because you might have a medical issue.
her mother gets holy water and tells her to put it in her bad eye, and maybe it'll help because it's holy water.
All these things,
mm-hmm.
yes.
Go
to this event.
She's like, I'm not going to do that. But then when her mother wasn't around,
she does it.
She put holy water in her eye because she was blind.
Well, you're indoctrinated. You're indoctrinated to believe these things from a very young age.
Yep. She's having sex with her boyfriend, and when she's a teenager, and she has to turn her her statue around. But I mean, they're fun stories.
Yes,
they're good.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah,
she talks about how the Catholicism still, even though she's kind of questioned it and kind of sounds like moved away from it a bit, it's still stuff still creeps in because
I can recite those fucking things just because you're programmed.
Yeah.
You're programmed to say them. And in Catholic Church, you stand up, you sit down, you kneel, you stand up, you kneel, you sit down, you stand up. It's a fucking ritual to do all this shit.
Yeah. I remember going to a wake and a funeral, and I had no idea what to expect because you didn't prepare me, but like you have to stand up and shake everybody around you's hand and you say, what is it?
Peace be with you.
Peace be with you. And then,
also with you.
And I didn't know what to say. And so I'm like,
peace be with you.
Okay.
Peace be with you.
You too.
I never wanted to do that shit. I never wanted to do that shit.
It didn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, okay.
Peace be with you.
Everybody
fuck the anti-abortionists. But,
what?
Well, yeah, they're Catholic.
That was a quick turn there.
Well, and it's you learn all this stuff. You learn all this crap. I only went to confession a handful of times.
Yeah. What did you confess? Do you remember?
I have no idea. That I was bad to my brother and sister. That I was evil to them or whatever. I'm sure. As an adult, I may have gone once simply because I had to do it so I could.
The godparent. Be the godparent.
For my,
or you were to stand in somebody's wedding.
No, it was for the godparent.
Okay.
Twice.
Have you ever stood in somebody's wedding?
Stood, yeah.
Yeah, you were
one of them. I wasn't best man. I was in jeans. Yeah, one of the groomsmen.
Oh, in Jean's wedding. Wow.
Steve's too. I don't remember Steve's first wedding. I honestly don't remember.
You just got so drunk you can't remember.
I don't remember any of it. But
do you remember our wedding?
I do remember ours because I wasn't drunk. But
me either. It's a perfect opportunity to.
We paid for a DJ, and I was going to fucking dance.
Your ass
I danced all night. I danced more than anybody else.
You did.
Even without you, I danced by myself.
Yeah,
or with
you
other
didn't
people.
spend much of our wedding with me.
I paid for a DJ, and I was going to get money's worth. They weren't cheap. They were like half the cost almost.
Yeah, but we really did not pay very much for our wedding.
No, it was good.
It was good. Anyway.
But
I mean, yes, the toilets overflowed.
But the Catholicism
flooded
is something
dance floor for a few minutes.
I could understand her. Reading that, I understand completely. You always question it. It's in the back of your head. I don't question it anymore. I don't give a shit. But, at some point, I mean, through life, you're like, oh, geez, you're on a plane. It's like, the pilot's like, fasten your seatbelts. We're going to come into some turbulence.
And
it's like, oh, shit. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Okay, chill out. Back from the mic. We get it.
Back from the mic. But,
do you do that when you're okay?
No,
okay, I didn't think so, but she talked.
Yeah, when I was younger.
Younger how?
I may have.
How?
I don't know.
You don't remember? Because I was never that way. I remember. I don't remember ever really believing in anything, but our neighbors were very religious. I mean, I shouldn't say very religious, but they believed in God, and his dad was a pastor in the town not far from us, and so not the adult, the parent of my. Okay, so there's this is so off course. Anyways, the father of the family, his father was a pastor. Anyway, and they were from North Carolina, so I think there was a lot of that. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the day he died, I remember.
The father.
Yes. I remember I was a kid. No, his father was a pastor.
Okay.
Should I just say names? Does it matter?
No, just finish your story.
Okay. So the day he died, we were at my mother's apartment, like, I don't know, 15 minutes away with his daughter. She had stayed the night. So we brought her home because he had an issue and they were taking him away in the ambulance. He was not, according to everybody around, dead yet. And so I remember walking from his house to my dad's house that was right next door and talking to God, because, that's what you do. And I said, something stupid, like, if you just save him, then, I'll do everything. Like, I will be the best kid I've ever been. I will fully believe in you, because like part of me was like, I'm being punished. Like, this is my punishment for not believing. And so this is it. I believe in you completely. And of course he died, because there is no magical person in the sky. Also, like, I don't know. I don't know the kind of life that would be lived if he, like, when I look back now on the person that he was, like, he wasn't the best person. Like, he was very kind to us. He was, but he was extremely racist, I'm sure. And nothing that he ever said to us, but just like things that kind of like microaggressions, I guess, that, you don't really think about it because it doesn't affect you. But, and like he would say things like he's the kind of guy that would have a shotgun when his daughter brought him a boy. And he died before any of that, before she was old enough to ever have that experience. But I just remember having that. And like, I feel like maybe that was a turning point for me where it was like, I mean, I knew, like, I never really fully believed in anything, but I was like, okay, if I could just put myself out there and just say, I will believe wholeheartedly, like, this is, whatever, just save him.
Right.
Because that's what, even when you're not you don't really fully believe, you're like, if there's a chance.
I never fully believed, but I remember you saying that reminds me of, I don't have a specific time, but yes, I remember saying that, oh, please, I'll do anything, I'll believe, any kind of crap like that. And
with somebody that died? Bill, maybe?
I don't know.
No.
It was when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's, oh, please, God, don't, whatever.
Yeah. I know my mom has told me, it's not really my story to tell, but a similar thing, like her pastor died or something. And so it was like, if God would kill somebody, who spreads the love for God or whatever, then clearly
a lot of pastors spread the love. They spread their seed.
Well, he wasn't a priest. He was a pastor.
There you go. They're all the same.
They're not. They're not all the same. Pastors generally can
just as bad.
Get married and have children.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that they're not pedophiles.
Well, I think whatever. I'm not going to excuse behavior of priests. I don't know why I'm even trying.
Love you.
I love you too.
But anyhow,
I feel like that was a lot of the book, was talking about religion and kind of her experience. It's I would imagine the Philippines have a lot of that Catholic religion because of missionaries.
She's got
who imposed
is the cat on the front cover smoking weed?
No, I think he's drunk.
Oh, okay. But
no, the dog is smoking weed or a cigarette. I mean,
where's the dog?
On the front.
Yeah, the dog is definitely smoking a cigarette. The cat is drinking, yes.
But is it a cigarette or is it
there's
pot,
something?
It's probably pot. Based on the amount of smoke coming out of it.
There is a photo of her in the back, too.
Oh, my God. I love this picture. I didn't even notice it at first.
I did not either.
I thought she just had fruit in her.
Yeah. She's sitting on a windowsill staring out at the mountains.
Such a beautiful and picturesque moment.
But in her leg, she has 2 oranges, and she's holding
in her lap. No, she doesn't. She has an apple and an orange.
Oh, an apple and an orange.
And a banana.
And she's holding the banana like a penis. And she's holding it like
very phallic.
And yes, it's very pretty funny.
It's awesome.
It is. All right, Rooftop Stew.
Wait, before we go there,
yes.
Okay, so check out. Let's just go to novembergarcia.com, right, and check out, buy the books, do the things, follow her on social media. I don't know, what
she's on there. We follow her
on Twitter, right?
Yeah, we do follow her on Twitter.
Okay,
yes.
So go do that. Check it out.
Yeah,
it's a great book.
It's good stuff.
The art is amazing.
It's fun. Yeah.
Loved the art. Full color too, which is nice. Not common in zines like that.
No, it was good. It was really nice.
So please go check her out, and then we'll move on to the next book.
Max Clotfelter's book, Rooftop Stew. It's also from Birdcage Bottom Books. And
Rooftop Stew collects a plethora of Mike's Clotfelter's depraved... Max. Yeah. Where did I get Mike's from?
I'm over here. Remember, it's tattooed on my forehead?
Right. I can't. It's names. I can't do names. Rooftop Stew collects a plethora. Because I was trying to get through the word plethora. And so then I was like, I did it. And then
you said Mike Clotfelter.
Yeah. Max Clotfelter's depraved comics, both fictional and autobiographical, blending 60s psychedelic underground comic sensibility with Southern style debauchery.
Tough to find any
any bio of him anywhere, even on his own blog.
Oh, really?
I couldn't find anything.
Oh, okay.
So there's a 2014 interview with him on panelpatter.com. So I'm just going to pull a couple things out of there. He's a vital figure in the modern Seattle comic scene, and he was born in Marietta, Georgia, which a bunch of the stories take place in Marietta, Georgia. His dad was worked a variety of jobs. His mom was a teacher, and he says he grew up middle class, always felt attracted to drawing, but was never very good at it. But he sucked at sports. He was a weirdo, loser, outcast. So that kind of gives you an idea what his.
So he fits in perfectly in Seattle because everybody in Seattle is a weirdo, loser, outcast.
Lots of old Southern values, lots of churches, and lots of athletics in Marietta. So he just, at some point, by 8th grade, I was creating these filthy, transgressive comics. I'd show them to kids in the hallways and pass them around in class. At one point, a teacher found a notebook filled with about 150 strips, and I was immediately suspended just from school.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
And required to go through a full psychiatric evaluation.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I could see that based on
his. He says my mom showed me notes from the evaluation years later, and I guess there had been fears that I was illustrating demonic hallucinations.
Wow.
They sent him back to school and told him not to draw unless it was G-rated. He disobeyed, of course.
Of course.
But
he didn't get caught again.
Some of his his influences, Peanuts, Garfield, Mad Magazine, Sergio Aragonés, he liked him. Gru was one of his, and so a lot of things like that. And there's other stuff too, but he moved it in the story. It tells it how he moved. Oh, Peter Bag's Hate had my dad. He loved Peter Bag's Hate. Wizard Magazine. Oh, I remember that. Wizard Magazine was popular in the 90s. It was a comic book magazine.
Oh.
Interviews and reviews and all kinds of stuff. Full color. Used to read it every month, cover to cover. They had a column dedicated to alternative comics, and that informed my tastes as I got into high school. I called all the shops in town trying to find the one that carried Peter Bag's Hate, and had my dad take me to go buy the Bradleys and Hey Buddy. Funniest shit I had ever read. And then he found 8-Ball, Love and Rockets, and a lot of other stuff. So he's been influenced by a lot of things. Likes a lot of things. He's in Seattle now. Rooftop Stew is fucked up. That's bottom line. It is black and white, super detailed artwork. He does tons of cross hatching and detailed artwork.
Yeah.
But it's very comic book. Very looking at it, it reminds me of the old what were they called? Those cartoons where the characters that are like faces are exaggerated and stuff. I can't think of what they are.
I don't know either.
But yeah, it was like from the 70s stuff that I used to read. Let's talk about some of the stories in there. They're very interesting. There are some autobiographical ones. Let's talk.
Yeah, like The Tick.
The Tick. How about The Tick? How about the raccoon?
Oh wait, this is not it. This is what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay. One of these stories is not true.
Oh yeah.
Can you guess which one? Do you remember which one it was that you thought might not be true?
No. They all have dates and stuff, so I'm not sure.
But one of them is not true. Which one? When you're reading it,
you have
which
to email
one
him to find out.
I know, but I'm just saying, like me and you,
okay,
let's just have a discussion.
Give me a quick overview of what they are.
Okay, so the first story is they're driving east on Route 29, and there's a deer, horse. What is it? It's a wild man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, and so then there's the next one, trays fueled up on mushrooms, tincture, and 12 beers, and decided that he didn't like his beard, so he beat him up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the third one is he's out wandering the swamp, and 3 days later finds a tick. And the fourth one is the mattress, where they stuff the mattress is cold and it sinks, so they stuff the magazines or newspapers between the box spring and the mattress.
I'm going to go with the first one.
It kind of worked. And the last one is the Macklemore, thrift store Macklemore on the toilet.
I don't know. I'm going with the first one.
You think it's the first one? That's kind of what I thought too, but
I don't know.
That one seems like
that's something that probably would happen. The tick one seems a little too specific. The newspaper one seems a little too specific too. Like,
but the other one's specific too. I mean, he's driving down. What about the beard one?
The beard one, based on the story of him hanging out in the bar in Marietta, Georgia, and it was a bar that off-duty cops hung out at. And when they'd get drunk, they'd turn into assholes. Bigger, I should say, probably bigger assholes. Then one of them decided he looked at one. Oh, he looked at one and made a comment one day.
And he called him a faggot.
Well, no, he didn't. The cop called him.
The cop.
Because they were standing in line to go to the bathroom, and he said something about the line.
Use the women's room.
Oh, somebody should use the yeah. And a guy said, "Stop looking at me, faggot," or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he thought the guy was going to beat him up, so he stopped going there. Yeah. And then months later, one of his friends, one of the regulars, said, "Hey, you don't have to. You can come back to the bar because that guy doesn't come here anymore." And he's like, "Yeah." Not long after that, I moved to Seattle. So, yes. And Rooftop Stew has the front cover. It's a full front back cover.
Oh yeah.
Of this dude on the roof.
You got to sit here and stare at it while I was looking through the book.
Of a car.
I didn't get to see it.
With all this weird shit growing or being cooked or whatever, and the guy's sitting on the roof and he's like cooking a big kettle over the engine, and
the squirrel or some kind of rodent is driving the car with broken windows, and he's got some moonshine on the back trunk there.
There's a continuing story throughout of this red eye.
Oh my
god! This kid that's like a mentally deformed, not mentally, physically, mentally was fine. Physically deformed.
I don't know about mentally because he talked like a baby, but
yeah, but they were definitely physically deformed. Yes. And they had one eye that was like hanging out and stuff. And in one of the stories, the parents who are meth addicts,
their name. Oh yes, they have 2 fingers on each hand and 2 toes on each foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and their eye is sticking out.
They send him out to go sell his baby brother, and later on the baby brother.
I think it says baby sister, doesn't it?
No, because at the end it's baby brother.
No, it says we need you to take your little sister to the Taco Bell.
Oh,
so a babysitter can pick her up.
Oh, so is that a mistake in the story then?
I don't know. Let me go look. It doesn't say. No, it's a not a brother in the back. Doesn't appear to be anyway.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
I don't think she says brother.
She just has short
hair.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I didn't notice that. Oh, but yeah. So these stories.
Just because she's so violent that you would think that she's a man?
These are so messed up. The artwork is great. It's just this wild, outlandish, crazy stuff. And some of his autobiographical stuff that's mixed in, it's like stupid shit you hear at the store. And they're just like 1-page comics from working in a store. And one of them is like a guy walks in. He goes, "Hey, do you have a garbage can?" He's like, "For what?" He goes, "To throw these dirty socks in." And he's like, "No." Another one, his father makes him get in the car and they go and cut the tail off of a raccoon that was killed on the street, and just weird stuff that
very
he had to deal with growing up, which I could see why the school thought he was probably cuckoo. The stuff that he's drawing here, these are a collection of comics from several years, like 4 or 5 years worth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I saw at least 2014 in there. So, so there are several years worth of comics, but the stuff.
Oh my God, you're right about the Pike Street thing too. You said I thought it was in the 90s, but it wasn't. It was 2013 to 2014.
Yeah, that's right. He gives the dates.
Yeah.
He's walking down Pike Street.
Yeah, I thought that it was the 90s for some reason.
Yeah, walking down Pike Street to work, and it's like stuff that he would see. And the weirdest one is 6 blocks of blood stains.
I don't know if you can say that's the weirdest one. They're all so fucking weird.
But they are. But
the level of weird is not the butt explosion.
Butt explosions, yes, all kinds of things. But then he saw a doorway splattered with like blood, like to the point that it made him.
Okay, that was the only time that he gagged. So that was I don't know. I think that one's the weirdest.
Yes.
Weirdest.
I mean, it's just. Such crazy stuff. And a lot of the stuff is like redneck stuff, which obviously his growing up in Georgia had to have influenced some of this storylines.
They actually say Oh, the worst of all. He actually says which the worst one
The doorway?
was. No.
Oh, he does. Okay.
The steady destruction of Capitol Hill by corporate developers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was actually his worst thing.
Yeah.
Watching it change.
Yeah.
Stuff being torn down to build skyscrapers for rich people.
Yep. Always for the fucking rich people.
Well, we're finding out that coronavirus, COVID-19, does not care how much money you have.
Yeah, Tom Hanks and his wife.
Exactly. It doesn't care how much money you have or where you live.
Why can't it kill bad people?
Well, there are some bad people that have been in contact with it, and it's entirely possible it'll get them, especially since they're older.
Crossed.
But like every one of the presidential candidates is like over 70, so it could kill all of them.
I know. That's the scary thing. I mean, I don't know. I could.
Yeah. But so, I mean, you've got all that. And yeah, so I mean, anyhow, this
back to Malarkey. Back to Rooftop Stew. Sorry.
It is. It is.
He is an amazing artist.
Oh,
the time and dedication that he is putting into his work. It just
the inside. You open
amazing.
the inside pages. This is just cross-hatched, like a whole page, just to make it black. It is just.
Yeah.
This is like a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work, and his backgrounds and the backgrounds and people's hair and stuff. He all does it manually with just all lines and stuff like that. And it's just such great artwork. And you can see him. It shows him as an adult with a big beard. I guess he's got to fit in the Seattle area, but that would also work down in Georgia too. Along with when he was younger. I mean, it's good stuff. The stories are all over the place. They are just all over the place, and I don't know.
Were there any? What was like? I know one of the parts that made me feel the saddest. I don't know about saddest. I mean, a lot of it is sad. I don't know, but that poor kid who had to essentially babysit his father because he was passed out drunk or high or whatever, and so the friends come over and he's like, "Sorry, I can't." Was it?
Yeah.
Was that a true story? I think it was a true story. He was one of the kids, right?
Was he? Maybe.
I think so. And because he's the one that stole the Hustler magazine.
Oh, yeah.
So the kid's like one positive thing in his life is that he gets to jerk off 10 times a day to this Hustler magazine that he stole or something. Right? Doesn't it say that? Maybe somebody bought it for him. Who knows? Yeah. Anyways, it's not important. But then I think it was Max. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, go ahead.
But the one character, they're like, okay, come hang out with us. Well, we're really hungry. Oh yeah, sorry, I don't have any food in my house because my parents are poor and drunk or high or whatever all the time.
Okay, it's Randy and Travis. It's not Max.
Randy. Okay, Travis.
Randy and Travis in beating boredom.
Okay, so
beating off.
But he stole the Hustler from this poor kid. That's the only positive thing in his life, and he stole it from his friend.
Yeah, they kids come to visit and say, "Oh, what's that smell? Oh, it's just my dad's probably his liquor sweat.
It's just my dad's liquor
What do you got?
sweat.
Can we play your Super Nintendo?
Drunk.
Oh no, my dad sold that last week.
For his
Can
alcohol,
we eat your?
probably.
Can we raid your fridge? We're hungry. No, Dad's been throwing up in the kitchen a lot.
Oh my god, in the sink. The sink is drawn full of vomit.
Well, let's go back to my place and fry up some eggs. I can't. I got to stay home when Dad's passed out and make sure he doesn't choke on his vomit. So then they're like, okay, well, what do you do all day? And that's what he says. I'm just jerk off 10 times.
I jerked off 10 times yesterday.
And then apparently when he's, that's what it is. The one kid that hangs back so he can grab the
Hustler is it a Hustler? I think you do.
It is. It's Hustler.
I felt really sad for that kid.
Yeah. Wait.
I mean, I felt bad for him with his raccoon tail and stuff too.
The stories are something else, though. They are all over the place, and they're fun. I enjoyed them. I knew you laughed. I heard you laughing and going, oh, a few different times. Yeah, when you were reading it, but it was like I laughed out loud a few times because it's good stuff.
It is.
Malarkey, Rooftop Stew, both from Birdcage Bottom Books. Good stuff. We got a lot of more good stuff. There's another one I already read for next week. You thought there was too much for this week, so we'll do that one.
And it did. Week. I mean, we're already into an hour of recording, aren't we?
No, but anyhow,
we're getting close.
Anyhow, so we've got more good stuff coming.
So follow Max on Max. On Twitter and on. They're probably both books are probably available on Birdcage's site, right?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Birdcage
Bottom.
I can't get the words out today.
That's just newspaper.
Bird cage bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean it's just newspaper?
That's what's on the bottom of a bird cage. You put newspaper on the bottom.
Oh. See, I didn't have birds growing up, so I didn't think about that at all.
That's how you clean. Pull that paper out and throw it out. Yep. Anyhow, I guess until next week, my name is Mike.
And I'm Parker.
And this is the Graphic Novel Podcast. Thanks for listening to the Graphic Novel Podcast.
Make sure you find us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Graphic Novel Pod.
The other places, I think it's Graphic Novel Podcast, but it's Graphic Novel Pod on Twitter.
I was surprised I remember that much. So
I know, because you know what? I would not have remembered that. It was good. And if you like the show, please go to your favorite store that you listen to podcasts and at least give us a 5-star. Or if you have the time, leave a review. You can send us an email at graphicnovelpodcast@gmail.com. Tell
your friends about us.
Definitely tell your friends about us. Check us out. Visit us on social media on Twitter. That's where I am the most. It's on Twitter. I try to avoid Facebook at all costs. And you can also, if you go to anchor.fm /graphic novel podcast, you can go to our site and you can leave us a voice message. And if you leave us a nice message, maybe we'll play it on the air. Is that it? Nothing else? You don't want to say anything else?
Nope.
Good for you, Krabby Butt.